If you want to take physical delivery of your bullion, what are some of the ways you can reduce the risk of it being stolen? None of the following ideas are fail-safe. You yourself will have to decide what makes the most sense for your bullion storage needs. In our current world of debt and fiat currency expansion and possible economic ruin, having private gold and silver bullion savings within reach helps many investors have more sleep-filled nights. Gold is a riskless asset in the sense that gold bullion will never become worthless. Yet gold bullion always has one major counterparty risk inherent to it: outright theft. Gold bullion is virtually untraceable. Even if you have gold bar ID numbers, the ability to liquidate gold bullion is extremely easy in the world we live in. In other words, if someone steals your gold bullion savings, you may be completely out of luck. With the threat of robbery or possible home invasion in mind, we are about to discuss the creative options to safeguard your bullion holdings. In order to do this well, you literally have to think like a criminal would. And no, we are not merely going to tell you to buy a home gold bullion safe. Before we start, just keep in mind gold obviously takes up less space than silver, and bars take up about 50% less space than coins because you do not need coin cases or tubes. Bullion location diversification. Even if all your bullion is stored within your property, gold stash location diversification is important to help limit the risk of losing everything at once. Having your gold bullion in multiple hidden spots is prudent, as long as they are well hidden, with you and perhaps a trusted loved one knowing the locations. Also, you might want to have location descriptions in a sealed legal will. Hiding spots. Modern, mass-produced covered chairs, sofas, and ottomans disassemble easily and reassemble quickly without showing signs of tampering, and can be fitted with easily accessible hidden pockets. The staples, screws, or pins used to secure the upholstery to the underside of the unit's frame can be removed or loosened, depending on what you want to hide within their frames. Stereo speakers often come in a number of useful shapes and sizes, which can be easily opened and stashed with gold in the unused space they often have within. Careful here if you have an expensive stereo system. More than likely, most thieves like music too, and high-end stereo speakers are not cheap. They might get stolen. The false bottom drawer or secret cupboard is still a useful way of quickly stashing some gold bullion. Don't get greedy or try to block off 90% of the drawer's total area though. Perhaps use several narrow hides rather than one large, obvious altered one. Converted drawers and cupboards could also contain plenty of junk to hide their underlying conversions from would-be thieves. Kickboard. Typically an option for hidden bullion storage in a kitchen, the kickboard hide is worth a mention. These common kickboards are the piece of finishing wood or molding at the base of kitchen units, cabinets, etc. Common kitchen kickboards can be easily removed for access to considerable space behind and underneath the aforementioned kitchen accompaniments. The kickboard can then simply be put back into place when access to the hidden gold bullion stash is not needed. Buying large old books in a second-hand bookstore could be an outside-the-box solution for storing some gold bullion, jewelry, cash, or other valuables. Bed designs are hitting the market today with secret or armored compartments to safeguard one's valuables. You could even go to the next level and make your bed's underlying frame a fireproof safe. Burying bullion. When could you bury your gold bullion? The more secretive you want to be, the later and more quiet the hour of digging would be required. Dawn, dusk, or after midnight would be a good idea. Avoid the winter or spring months. The soil is soggy in the spring and hard in the winter. Think of digging ahead before actually burying your goods. Where could you bury your bullion? 3 important points to consider about where to potentially bury your bullion are location, accessibility, and security. Creative locations with not very obvious landmarks should be considered. Treasure hunters and law enforcement officials know that humans use close landmarks for reference points, so be as creative as possible when selecting your landmarks. Accessibility refers to how easy it is to access your goods. If burying within your personal property, you will have to dig at least 10 feet to avoid metal detectors and be beyond law enforcement limits for digging. For the urban and suburban survivalist, the cache should be at least 10 miles from a population center like a small town and no more than 30 to 40 miles from home. Don't waste time looking for likely spots. Use a map and perhaps a GPS device. Security refers to the measures you take to cover your tracks when you select a burial spot or are doing the actual burying. Use low reflection equipment, make sure no one is following you, and make as little noise as possible. Common sense warning: stay off of social media with your bullion stash identities. Of course, there is a healthy gold and silver YouTube channel community that loves to show off their bullion acquisitions to one another and discuss related topics. This is likely somewhat safe to engage in, so long as one merely gives away their voice and only close-up shots of a few bullion items here and there, i.e., never a detailed imaging of the interior or exterior of your house. Your location and address should always stay ambiguous. Home bullion insurance. Home bullion insurance policy pricing is just $150 per year for bullion collections of up to $75,000 in total value. That is a full insurance yearly price point of as low as 20 basis points or 0.2% of your home bullion held and insured under the potential policy. This pricing is in line and often less than the most cost-competitive fully insured gold bullion vaults and gold depository storage programs available. The key difference here, of course, is that you, yourself, could maintain full direct custody of your gold bullion in hand while also fully insuring its value against potential theft. For more information about bullion home insurance options, you can visit sdbullion.com/insurance. Off-property gold storage ideas. There are various proven third-party non-bank gold bullion depository services we can provide customers who have interest in direct, fully insured bullion storage either domestically, here in the USA, or abroad in safe jurisdictions. Often, people think to simply store some gold bullion in a bank-safe depository box. Yet, there are some important additional details such as insurance, access, and privacy to consider. Some of the cheapest off-property yet uninsured options for storing lots of bullion in bulk may simply be renting a self-storage unit, although this of course has inherent risks associated as well. Perhaps you aren't going to grab your shovel and treasure map quite yet. Some of the aforementioned suggestions will not fit your circumstance. The purpose of this video is for you to be conservatively creative in utilizing sensible locations to conceal gold bullion stashes. Discretion and common sense are paramount here. If you have any dependents, make sure you always have a legal will and directions on how to find any and all hidden treasures. For more information on silver and other precious metals, visit sdbullion.com/education. Please like and subscribe to our channel for further precious metal content and information.